Coming up on Mountain News at 6, the search for a new education commissioner begins, and one organization is looking to reverse the numbers regarding the fentanyl overdose crisis.
And temperatures are warm this evening, but we get even warmer by the end of the week. All those details coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Kentucky's Commissioner of Education, Jason Glass, announced he will be resigning at the end of September with 1 year left on his contract. Now, as Samantha Valentino shows us, the Department of Education is taking the first steps towards finding his replacement.
It's a really important position, and we need to make sure that we have a leader of our public schools.
In a special meeting Monday morning, the Board of Education discussed the search for the next Commissioner of Education. The board authorized the Department of Education to look for an executive search firm to search for candidates. The KDE says their goal is to begin working with the firm no later than December 1st of this year.
We need a commissioner that's going to make sure that they're reaching out and talking to the public, that are talking to the educators, that are lifting up the parents and the community.
GOP lawmakers and politicians have previously called for Commissioner Jason Glass's removal from the position. President of the Kentucky Education Association, Eddie Campbell, says he hopes the political attacks against Commissioner Glass will not deter any potential candidates.
Politics don't help the struggling student. It's the educators. It is the support staff that work with our students every day. And we need a commissioner who's going to be laser focused on the job.
We asked both Governor Beshear and Attorney General and Republican candidate for Governor Daniel Cameron what they'd like to see in the next commissioner. Cameron said in part, quote, candidates for Kentucky's education commissioner must take a clear stand. Will they condemn Jason Glass's comments that teachers concerned about radical ideology should just find another job? Beshear's office did not have a comment today, but referred us to these statements made after Glass announced his resignation.
It's going to be much more challenging to find a good commissioner of education. I want the very best for us, and so I'm going to try to work through the damage that the Attorney General and others have done here in our ability to recruit the very best.
In Frankfort, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
An interim commissioner has not yet been announced. A spokesperson for KDE told our sister station WKYT we can't expect that announcement to come in early September. Thousands of students returned to the classroom today at the University of Kentucky. Junior Christopher Taylor says he is excited to start year 3. He added excitement comes from spending the weekend welcoming UK's largest freshman class to date as a K-board leader for Orientation Week.
It's so exciting because it's just showing how much this campus is growing still, how many people are so excited to come to our school, and just the possibilities that can come from this are just wildly possible. So, yeah.
In a news release, UK officials say nearly all 50 states are represented in this year's student body of more than 33,000 students. Just more than a year since the July 2022 flood, West Whitesburg Elementary has reopened. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox tells us how school administrators worked to update the building before students returned.
It has been more than a year since students walked through the halls of West Whitesburg Elementary.
We had a lot of anticipation and a lot of excitement over the last few weeks in the summer.
The building underwent a complete remodel after floodwaters swept through.
Timing wasn't perfect, but the opportunity to update the building and to do that and come back better and stronger, it's also a really good feeling to celebrate.
One of the biggest updates for the school is that they are going from open to closed suites. 5 locked doors separate the kids from outside.
We've talked for years about the fact that we needed to build walls and go into this building for safer purposes. It's much safer to have students behind closed locked classroom doors instead of the open concept.
Students attended the high school last year. Administrators say the changes have shown resilience from kids and staff.
Going to Lecture Central last year was a really good experience for us, and it kind of prepared them for what we're coming into now. Because our
news tip, then call the WYMT news tip line.
School.
The work's not done. We still have work to do, but having them in their buildings gives us more hope.
West Whitesburg is the final school in Letcher County to finish remodeling after the flood. In Whitesburg, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Administrators say preschool will start at West Whitesburg Elementary next week. Barberville Independent School got off to a difficult start this school year, but school officials say that they want students and teachers to understand that their campus is safe. WYMT's Madison Carmouche has more.
When parents send their child off to school, they want to know that their child is and feels safe. So do school officials at Barberville Independent School.
We had the cheerleaders and the dance team from the high school out there this morning. A presence of teachers out front instead of in the rooms. We had them out front.
Barberville Independent Superintendent Dennis Messer says they are finding new ways to increase school safety all the time.
Well, we try to keep our parents informed of everything that's going on in the school district. We do have notification apps that we just purchased recently.
Superintendent Messer adds that making sure students and staff know what to do through drills will help with peace of mind.
We will make sure our kids know that this is for their safety, and we take all drills serious, and we want our kids to know if they hear lockdown, they know the procedures that we take.
Both Messer and Carey agree that the well-being of the student is the top priority, not just after an incident, but every day.
The safety of our students is the most important, and we want our students, parents, community to know that when they're here, their kids are in a safe environment, and also they're learning, and that's what I think every parent wants from their school.
In Knox County, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
Barberville Independent School held a prayer for students, parents, and staff yesterday evening to help provide peace of mind to the community. One person has died following a crash in Pulaski County. The crash happened yesterday on East Kentucky 80 and Squibb Anno Road. Officials with the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office say a car and a motorcycle were traveling east on 80 when the motorcycle turned in front of the car. The driver of the car then hit two people riding on the motorcycle. The passenger on the motorcycle was pronounced dead, while the person operating it was flown to UK Hospital with serious injuries. Two young men were critically injured and another woman was arrested after a serious golf cart incident this past weekend in Madison County. In the early hours Saturday morning, the Madison County Sheriff's Office was called out to a cruise lane for a golf cart incident. Officials say 6 people were involved when the driver lost control. 2 passengers fell out and were critically injured. The Sheriff's Office arrested the driver, 20-year-old Caitlin Sparks.
Now, this is the first one in a while that I recall that has involved a golf cart, but we understand now, even though they're not high speeds, they can be very dangerous, especially when you're operating them on the roadway.
Sparks was charged with leaving the scene of an accident, failure to render aid, wanton endangerment, and DUI. No one was hurt following a rollover crash in Rockcastle County. The Mount Vernon Fire Department says one lane was closed as tow crews worked to remove the box truck. The crash happened around 8 this morning on I-75. A commercial vehicle went over the embankment. Another car had minor damage. Police in Laurel County are also asking for your help in finding a pickup truck that was stolen. Deputies say the theft took place early yesterday morning from a home on US 25 about 2 miles north of London. We are told it is a 1998 Chevrolet Silver truck with a black hood. If you know where the truck might be, you can call the Laurel County Sheriff's Office at 606-864-6600 or contact them on Facebook. All tips can remain anonymous. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office is also asking for your assistance in identifying a burglary suspect. Officers say the burglary happened off US 25 just north of London. If anyone has any information, you can contact the Sheriff's Office at 606-864-6600 or message their Facebook page. Police in Breathitt County need your help identifying a suspect who was caught on camera stealing a dirt bike. Officials with the Jackson Police Department are looking for the man you see on your screen. If you have any information as to where the man may be, you were asked to call the Jackson Police at 606-666-2424 or contact them on their Facebook page. In Harlan County, police are searching for suspects in a recent theft at a pharmacy. It happened yesterday at the Donald's Pharmacy location at the ARH clinic on US 119, just outside Cumberland. Cumberland police said in a Facebook post, officers discovered a broken window while on patrol. We are told several controlled substances and an undisclosed amount of money were stolen. If you have any information, you are asked to contact Cumberland Police or Kentucky State Police.
Well, the weather is not too bad as we kick off your Monday. It's warm out there, but we are looking at plenty of sunshine over in downtown Hazard and Perry County. But check out that temperature, 90 degrees right now in Perry County. We should be in the middle 80s, so we are above average right now, and more heat is on the way. 86 in Pikeville, 88 in Jackson, up to 91 right now in Estill County over in Irvin. Tonight, though, we do stay dry under that mainly clear to partly cloudy sky, and those overnight lows are mild and muggy in the upper 60s and lower 70s as you wake up on Tuesday. And like we talked about, that AC is going to get a workout this week as more heat is on the way. Middle to lower 90s on Tuesday and Wednesday, possibly some middle to upper 90s on Thursday and Friday. So some heat is going to continue for much of this week. However, as we look towards the weekend, check this out, possibly a little bit of relief as some below average temperatures are possible by the weekend, also into next week. Those details plus a look at the tropics coming up in just a few minutes. Olivia?
Cameron, thank you. If you do not have to worry about where your next meal is coming from, consider yourself lucky. To bring awareness to the issue, Feeding Kentucky hosted its annual Hunger Action Month kickoff in Frankfort today. Each one of these flags represents 500 Kentuckians. Feeding Kentucky helps connect 1 in 7 Kentuckians with food they need each year. They serve all 120 counties from their 7 food banks.
The average price of a meal in Kentucky increased from $2.79 in 2020 to $3.11 in 2021. And now in 2023, we are all too aware of how much more food costs have risen.
You can help by donating food to your local food bank, volunteering, or contributing financially. Kentucky has the highest rate in the nation of food insecurity among older adults ages 50 to 59 years old. The fentanyl overdose crisis in the United States is never ending, but one organization in Kentucky is looking to reverse the numbers. Senior Director of Outpatient Services Jason Merrick, who was someone that was receiving care with addiction recovery care himself and is now returning the favor for patients, says education is key when trying to combat an issue like fentanyl overdoses.
It's often hidden in other drugs that would maybe seem legitimate. Prescription medications, even marijuana, other illicit substances, crack cocaine, methamphetamine, are all being laced with fentanyl.
Merrick also says it is always safe to treat each overdose as if it is an opioid-induced naloxone in the efforts to reverse the overdose. A free pop-up clinic is coming to one eastern Kentucky county later this week. Remote Area Clinic, or RAM, in partnership with CVS. Anita, Kentucky is conducting a free pop-up clinic providing medical, dental, and vision care at East Ridge High School in Pike County. The clinics are on Saturday and Sunday and are going on all day long. Services will be provided on a first-come, first-served basis.
Well, temperatures are heating up this week, but so are the tropics. An update coming up after this break.